Hello guys, Greg back with another video. So today I'm doing episode 9 of my cheap but good fragrances series. I've actually set a playlist up now with all of the previous videos. So if you're interested in catching up on any of those, just go to my channel page, click on playlists and they're all listed there. I'll also leave a link in this video description for all of those as well. But on to today's review. So this one's from the house of Cerruti, or I think it's pronounced Cerruti, and it's called Cerruti Image. Now this one was released in 1998 and it was one of my signature scents back then. I sort of the late 90s, 2000, early 2000s, I was owning about 3 or 4 bottles, and I remember I had Dolce & Gabbana Masculine, Low Dissy, Ralph Lauren Romance, which was probably my favourite fragrance, and then this one. And I wore the hell out of this one back then. But I haven't worn it for maybe, certainly over 10 years, but I rediscovered it recently and thought I'd test it and sort of analyse it and do all of that sort of stuff so that I could do a proper review on it. Perfumer on this one is Ursula von Dell. Amongst the many fragrances she's been involved with, the one that gets talked about most really at the moment is Citiver from Duetto Parfum. And that's a really good one actually. So this one, Cerruti Image, is officially classified as an aromatic green, but we'll talk a bit more about that later. So before we get into the important part, let's just have a quick look at the presentations. Firstly, the box. I'm not sure how good the colour is, it's very dark in here, but this is a blue box. Only distinctive feature really is that it's this silver writing here, which has lots of different words on. If you look at the bottle, not sure if it will pick it up, but you've got this opaque part going around, this sort of goes right the way around the bottle, and on there is written all of those words. Hopefully you can see a little bit there, and they're sort of inspirational words like creativity and optimism and future, that kind of thing. You've got Cerruti Image on the glass there. The really interesting part about this bottle is this very strange mechanism on the atomizer. So if I just flip this up, you can see you've got the nozzle there that you'd normally spray. Let's just twist this to the side, you can see clearly there. And then on this mechanism here, you've got a raised part which sits and presses on the nozzle. And then when you press down on this, let's just hold it so that you can see. There's your spray, and as you can see, it does give out a lot of juice. So kind of novel, haven't seen a bottle like that or a mechanism like that, so I quite like it. So let's have a look at what it actually smells like. What I'll do is, this is going to be as normal my take on the fragrance, but I will put a caption up now with the official notes for you, and then I'll talk about what I actually think. So here are the notes. So what do I actually get from it? Well, when I first spray this one on, for me, it's like being in a fruit shop first thing in the morning, just when the fruit's been delivered and it's totally fresh fruit, but the fruit has been kind of covered in a musky talcum powder. Strange description, I know, but that's just exactly what this smells like and what it makes me think of. I get a real blast of fruit at the top of this one. It's really fresh, sweet opening. It's hard to pinpoint the fruits that are in here. It's definitely got pear. That's definitely detectable. I would say there's probably some apple in here, maybe even grape as well. There's definitely citrus. It's not the main player, but there's citrus in there, and there's definitely plum. The plum is not at the forefront. It's a stronger note normally than the others, but in this it's not at the forefront to start with, but it's kind of in the background, but it becomes more prominent the longer that the fragrance is on your skin. But overall, I'd say the opening of this, it's bright, it's fresh, it's zesty. After about 15 minutes, it starts to develop a little bit. You get a bit of woodiness, you get some greenness, and a little bit of spice. But that fruit and that powdery musk are still there as well. There's a couple of different types of spice in here. They're both very light. It's not a spicy fragrance at all. But there's a cypress note in here, which gives some of that greenness that I mentioned, but also kind of like a green spiciness, if that makes sense. And then you've got, well, I pick up pepper and coriander in here. So they give it kind of a herbal type of spice as well. I don't think there's any florals listed in this fragrance, but I do pick up a floral feel. Not a feminine one. It's, as with the whole of this fragrance, it's more of a unisex sort of feel. Actually, looking at the notes, there is jasmine in here, but that's not what I'm picking up. It's not that type of floral. Jasmine's a bit harsh. There's nothing harsh in this one. So from the mid running through to the base, you get a little bit of soapiness added in here, which is mixed with the powder that I mentioned earlier. So it's like a soapy powderiness, which is, I really like it. There's a little bit of mint in here as well, and I get some vanilla. There's no vanilla listed. I'm not sure where that sort of smell is coming from, but I definitely pick up something that's like a vanilla type of smell. Now, probably about 2 hours you'll hit the dry down with this one, and most of the notes from the top and the mid are still there, but the musk becomes much stronger as the other notes fade away. And then the musk's joined by cedar and sandalwood. Now, being honest, the sandalwood in here is not the most refined, not the most expensive smelling sandalwood I've ever come across, but it doesn't really matter because it's blended well as part of the overall scent. So to summarise this one, I'd say it's a fruity, woody musk that's sweet, powdery and fresh. All in all, a really lovely smelling fragrance. I've been wearing it lots lately, as I said, really enjoying it. It's quite a laid back type of fragrance, but it's also uplifting. It kind of makes you feel happy when you wear it. You can't imagine a dark, sombre sort of person wearing this fragrance. I'd say it's a great work scent. It's a great casual scent. Best time of year on this one, probably spring. Probably more suited to daytime, but it's versatile. I'd wear this any time of the year, really. It may not be able to sort of contend with the real cold winter months, but it's an all rounder for me. In terms of comparisons, doesn't really remind me of anything that I can think of. In terms of performance, I only actually get about 4 hours before this becomes really close to the skin, but I don't kind of see that as being a negative, because I just choose to wear it on occasions that only last for a couple of hours, and there's plenty of those times during my typical week. Also, my skin's notoriously bad for holding on to fragrances, so you guys might get better performance than I do on this one. Projection wise, it projects well for about an hour, but after that it is quite subtle. And in terms of overall being able to smell it, probably about 8 hours, but after the 4 hours you really have to dig your nose into your arm or your wrist to smell it. Good news on this one is the price. So in the UK, a 100ml bottle of this is actually a 50ml bottle here, whereas this is a sealed 100ml box. The 100ml you can pick up for between £15 and £20 in the UK. I don't usually encourage blind buys, but this one is pretty hard to dislike. For that price, I would just say go for it, give it a go. So onto the ratings for Cerruti Image. Longevity, I count longevity as being when the fragrance is detectable without having to really search for it. And as I said, I get about 4 hours, which isn't awful for me, but it's not great either. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 for longevity. Projection and sillage, again, just about average for me. So a 6 out of 10 again. Actual smell on this one, I really do like this one. I think it's excellent. So it's getting an 8 out of 10. Price, bang for buck, absolutely fantastic. Even with a limited performance, this is great value for money, so it gets a 9 out of 10 for me. So my overall score for Cerruti Image is going to be an 8 out of 10. I think it's a really solid everyday scent. It's got a bit more to it than a lot of those sort of samey type scents that have been released at the moment. If you're more of a designer type of guy or someone that just appreciates all different types of fragrances, I would say definitely check this one out. So there you go, that's the end of the review, guys. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. Please do rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll be back very soon with another video. Cheers.